I'm Cash, and welcome back to Cash Talks Football, where we break down all the goals scored in the Premier League. And we might not have the fanciest software or the best made videos, but we do have the sharpest minds breaking down the Premier League on YouTube. So if you want to learn more about coaching, this is the place to be, or breaking down any analytics or understandings of football, subscribe to this channel and you'll learn an awful lot. Now, we're going to talk about this goal here, and this has a lot of implications for Arsenal because Saliba's going to be out. I think they play Liverpool next, which is going to be a huge test for Arsenal and Liverpool as well. Liverpool are doing okay, but they haven't really been tested, right? So we're going to find out for their game, and I'll watch along later on against Chelsea. But also, you don't lose the title in games like this. What you do is you lose the title for 4 games like this. So everyone has a bad day at work. I don't care where you've worked on a food production line. The machine's broken. You don't get out the orders in time, but like the 3 o'clock deliveries coming in to pick up and you haven't got it done. But if you're doing that every day, you've got a problem, right? Then that's where you are with Manchester United. You're doing it week in, week out, and you've got a problem. If you have a slip up once, that's okay. You just can't afford to have a bunch more if you want to challenge for the title to win the Prem. Now, of course, this guy's not offside. This is one of those things that people don't really understand. And I blame the referees for this as well. It's because they change it on a whim. It's an intentional pass back by Trossard, I can't say his name properly, Trossard, here. So he's intentionally playing the ball here, which is a terrible pass. I mean, I don't know what he's thinking he's doing. He's got a clear channel here, so knock the ball inside, and they're absolutely fine and they can play away. But he doesn't. He loops the ball in behind here. Now, I've got a couple of problems with this red card here and with VAR. And you're all going to agree with me when I start actually explaining this, because you're going to go, yeah, of course it is. Right, so when this ball gets played in behind, well, we're just going to play this forward. There we go. It's a great ball in behind. Trossard looks like he's playing for Bournemouth. That's why everyone thinks he's offside, because it's such a quality pass. Everyone thinks it's Bournemouth ball that's in, not just an awful pass from Trossard. Right. Now, here's the problem. You've got a covering player here. Is he going to get back? Well, we don't know. You're quicker without the ball than you are with it. He doesn't have the ball. Maybe he gets back quick enough. We're not going to know. Now, is this a professional foul? Yes. Is this stopping a goal-scoring opportunity? My opinion, it's not, because it's nowhere near the box. If he's 10, maybe 50, if it's up here, you're probably going, yeah, because his first touch is almost taking him to the 18-yard box, and his second touch is having a shot. He's got to bring it down for another touch, maybe another 3 touches before he gets to the 18-yard box. That's a rational example of what's going to be happening here. Not a crazy, oh, he's definitely going to score or he's definitely going to get a shot away. We just don't know. That's out there in the ether. So when he brings him down like he does right here, we go, oh, there he goes, pulls him down. Right, we know definitely, without a shadow of a doubt, that's a yellow card. But at the point he's bringing him down, look, we've got another player who's almost level. Now, you've got to ask yourself, this is the problem here. If the ref comes along and sends him off straight away, we go, we don't agree, but okay, ref, it's a sending off. We think he may have, it's not a clear goal scoring opportunity, but ref's made a decision, he's made a red card, okay, everyone's in agreement. If it's a yellow card and the ref goes out, it's a yellow card, everyone's going, ref, I don't agree, maybe it could have been a red, right? You can argue it both ways. You can go, that could have been a straight red, but maybe it should have been a yellow, or it's a yellow and it could have been a straight red. And now this is the problem. Because you can argue it both ways, and if you can rationalise in your head it both ways, it's not a clear and obvious decision or error. And this is where VAR comes in. If that's not clear and obvious, because it's not really clear and obvious, everyone can argue from the Arsenal point of view that this guy's going to cover and come back. Everyone will argue from the Bournemouth point of view that it's not clear and obvious. It's not. The neutrals, if you're honest with yourself as a neutral, you can go, yeah, I can see a red card. Yeah, I can see a yellow card. But to overturn whatever decision the ref is made on the field, it has to be clear and obvious. And it's not clear and obvious. So VAR has stuck its nose in again, and it seems to be on an Arsenal game again, that they're just sending somebody off. Even though they did get lucky in that Leicester game, was it? When they won 4-2 at 2-2? One of their, I can't remember the player, should have had a second yellow, I think. But this is the problem I have with the VAR. It's so inconsistent, because you can't argue that this is definitely a red, or it's, just a strong yellow, even though I know there's no such thing, but I don't know why we say soft yellows and strong yellows. It's all kind of strange in football that we just come up with these abstract terms and like mould them to the rules sometimes. But to me, it's not clear and obvious error by the referee that this is a red or should have been a red card, because he's so far away from the 18-yard box. You don't know what's going to be happening. Yeah, yellow. Yeah, it's a professional foul. Yeah, he's got him. Now, if the refs made a red card, as I'm saying, we're all going, yeah, okay, fair cop, gov, it's a red. But VAR needs to really be sorted out here, because there's so many other decisions where refs have given yellow cards where it could have been a red that the VAR don't get involved in, and that's the real problem. It seems to be picking and choosing about the ones that they do and they don't do, and that's where everyone starts losing faith in the system and the referees, because ultimately it's just a complete and utter mess. But don't get me wrong, Arsenal played themselves into that mess from that pass from Trossard. He's the one here that we should all be looking at. And this is one of the other things in football. We all start looking at the actual point of contact or the big decision here, instead of the person that put them in that situation in the first place, which was Trossard. If Trossard didn't do that and actually play the ball in behind for them to run onto, none of this would have happened. He's the one at fault. He really should be making sure, keeping hold of that ball, knocking it inside and doing a better job. That's an awful dink over the top that he's done. Absolutely awful. But everyone sort of forgets about that and then focuses on the ref and the VAR, because it's all this chaos decision going on. But let's get on to a couple of the goals, because standardly there's always a goal that comes along for doing the same thing that I preach every single week. And no, the people in the Premier League don't know, even though I tell them every single week. So here we are on a nice, easy set piece. That's all Arsenal need to do is defend this, and they're pretty good at defending set pieces, because their set piece coach raves when they score goals and does, gets praise, but he shouldn't be getting praise at all. I'll show you right now. One of the biggest percentages of people that score goals or defend goals is right here on the D. If you don't defend the D, you're gonna get scored on, right? You can see a player here at the top of the D. If you're an attacking player, you hang out here, the ball will drop to you. If you're a defensive player and you want to clear the ball, stand here, the ball will drop to you. And it's not every corner, but it's a vast percentage of them. I'd say it's in between 40 and 60% of corners end up right here. Why? Because it's the middle of the field. It is the most contested point. Anything that happens here will drop here. So any ball that comes into the box drops into this zone here all of the time. This is the zone that you defend if you want to actually not concede goals. If you're a midfielder and you want to score goals, come and stand up here. So this is a simple set piece run. Guys running from the front post, flicking it into the open space. And this space is open. It's not just the D, which that's the main point that I would be marking here. This actual zone between the little penalty spot. Actually, that's the penalty spot about there. That's rubbish. Rubbish cash, it's about there. The penalty spot, it's all completely open. This massive open area space. And I know everyone's going to go, oh, Arsenal are down to 10 men. Yeah, I get it. But you know what that means? That one player that's your outlet player, you don't have him. That means everyone's back defending and your outlet's not there. Okay, fine. That's what you have to do. They should still be able to defend quite easily without having an out ball to an outlet player wherever he might be. So when this ball comes in here, it's a little flick, completely and utterly unmarked, and everyone, and this is the important part, look at their body shape. He is facing there, that's where he's defending. These guys here didn't have their body shape correct when they were defending at all. Look at where they are facing, so no one can actually get out and pressure this ball. Remember, if you're defending, one of the easy points you can do, as I always say, think about standing on the post. Why? Because your shoulders are flat with the line, and you're looking this way, so you can run out and deal with danger. It's not about defending the post and hugging it and saying, oh, I've got the post, which, by the way, lots of players have ever done. It's like, I've done my job, I'm holding the post. No, it's your starting position, so you can come running out and pressure the ball. No one pressures the ball, and it's just a simple pass into the top corner. It's actually quite a good finish as well through all the traffic, but it's just poorly set up from Arsenal. As good as Bournemouth has exploited that space, very poor setup from Arsenal. Let's get on to the penalty. Not much to say. Penalty's a penalty. He scores it. But let's just show it quickly anyway. Again, this is the problem. It's not necessarily that the keeper's giving the penalty away. It is the lack of composure and concentration right here. I keep going back to the old analogy that I've made over and over again. It's going to have to be different nowadays. Championship players are 45 seconds that they switch off in the game. That's why they're not Premier League players. Remember, it's not 45 seconds continuously. It's 2 seconds here. It's 5 seconds there. It's 4 seconds here. As the game goes on, it used to add up to about 45 seconds. I think that this has now become the norm in the Premier League, where they're not switched on for about 45 seconds because there's so many errors being made. Now, this is just an error. Lack of composure and concentration on the ball. Doesn't really deal with it properly and ends up passing it very, very weakly. But here's the other part, right? Just realising this. He actually plays the ball from that side of him over to this side. He could have just turned and come out this side of the field. He doesn't even have to play it back to the keeper. But he does. It's not a very good pass and puts the keeper in an awkward situation. Now he's one-on-one because he's basically laid it up for the striker to go and score. Don't mind the keeper coming out that quick and that closing it down. I still have this thing. Look at these keepers' positions nowadays with the knees back and there. They are not stood up straight. They're not legs. They're not stood up straight at all. Does that make a difference? Yes, it means he doesn't dive. Oh, look at my stick man. He's amazingly drawn. Well done. That's brilliant. That is to scale. So he's in a situation where he has to use his hands because he's put himself down in a power position where he has to push off his left foot or his right foot off his knees to explode. He's not in like a defensive position. Think of like a defensive centre-back position. He has to make a challenge with his hands, and he gets it wrong and just clatters into the guy. He goes down. A little bit too soft in my case, but he gets a penalty, scores it. Yeah. And other than that, I'll see you next time on Cash Talks Football.